lasers had just come out. So we were like, wow. They put me in this chair, and I have to wear like these biker goggles. They bring the laser beam around and line it up. And I'm looking at this giant contraption. I'm all covered in leather and goggles.
All for this girl.
And they like, first laser hits me, and it goes, and smoke rises up to my nostril, and it was just burnt flesh. And I was like,
how's it? You know the rules. Aloha. Best surfer in the world, Sterling Spencer, and Cousin Ryan presents Pinch My Salt.
If someone drives a freaking Land Rover or Range Rover,
yeah,
it tells me everything I need to know about them.
Like what? Just
everything.
Everything. Their likes, their dislikes, their morals.
I can see their past and future, everything about them. They're soft.
Well,
if someone drives a Range Rover, someone gave it to them. That's first of all.
Daddy
got them a Range Rover.
Yep. Dude, you're right.
Someone rich before them came.
Yeah, there was someone ahead of them that planted roots, and now they have a Range Rover.
This one guy, dude, we were checking the surf, and he pulls up in his Range Rover. Ugh. He's like a good surfer.
Oh.
Known him forever.
Yeah.
But we go and check the waves, and he's like, it looks kind of hard to paddle out right now. And I look, I'm like, what?
Kind of hard to paddle out right now.
And I see his Range Rover still on behind him. I was like,
yeah.
Could you get any softer?
So a soft topper Range Rover, that's the worst. Well, you and your brother drive the crappiest stuff.
Dude, speaking of my brother, I think he's coming.
What do you mean, here?
I think he's coming to Pod.
Your brother's
coming? I
coming?
want to tell you because I know y'all kind of have beefs.
Dude, is he really coming?
He said he's bringing his own pillow, too.
Dude, he's going to make fun of me.
Where is your pillow?
I don't know. Did Yancy take it? Oh, no.
Ring.
So Yancy's coming.
My core lord brother might come, y'all. We'll see.
Oh, no.
Telling Yancy to be somewhere, it's like...
Yeah, trying to wrestle a tornado.
It's like throwing a bunny rabbit out in a field of rabid dogs.
What? What does that mean?
The bunny will run, but will it make it to you?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. All right, guys, we're dropping in on the Pinch My Clips, so now we're having some West Peaks.
Let's drop in.
Drink some West Peak.
Drop into the West Peak.
Mm.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who Margot Robbie is? She's a total babe in Hollywood.
Oh, the actor chick?
The actress chick. Look at her, dude.
She pregnant?
She shreds.
Whoa.
Look at her.
What?
Look at that.
Here, boys.
Dude.
She's going for the can. She's a goofy foot like you.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Maybe we could date.
Margot Spencer.
She's going for the can.
I mean, look at that. Dude, she shreds. At least she's not on a soft top.
It's a Takayama.
It's a Takayama? Dude, so Margot Robbie don't soft top, baby.
She's legit.
Dude,
it's a Hazza-twin.
What's that?
He's an Australian. Is that a great white?
Dude.
What is he thinking?
Australians are ridiculous.
This is Australians in a nutshell.
Let's listen.
Yeah, get this fucking... Get me! Are you f***ing kidding me, mate?
So they're called the Hazza-twins.
Oh, you heard about them?
I know them.
What?
They were pro surfers back in the day.
Yeah?
They were the gnarliest people on earth.
They look it.
Somehow they survive that's a classic Hazza moment. Like, of course, a great white would come up and not eat him.
Just, hey, dude.
Like, I've seen them escape death constantly.
Dude, listen to this local yelling at this sweetheart.
What are you guys up here? The local fucking break. What are you guys doing here? Don't look at me like that. I'm talking to you. Call. Right now.
It's unnecessary, but God, it feels good. Like, he doesn't need to send her in. It's just this little chick. But maybe like, hey, you're about to get in everyone's way.
Yeah, be nicer. Well, it's
Go down to Kuta Beach.
It's like when a skate mom shows up to a skate park with a scooter kid.
In the middle of the park.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't need to splash her, though.
He was splashing her?
Look how sweet she is. You could have gotten her number.
Dude, this guy knows thy rail. What is
hip,
this?
Hip, hip, hip.
Is this AI?
Is this Kalani Ram?
Dude, he's on a
What?
Dang. He's on a popsicle stick.
I feel like this is why white people have kept black people out of surfing. Because they're going to be so much better.
Dude, he's insane. What the fart?
Oh my gosh, is this Jamie O'Brien?
That's Jamie O'Brien.
He's not. What? Jamie O'Brien, he's just had a kid, so he's like,
What the? He's barrel rolling.
barrel rolls. He's gnarly.
God.
Take this, Gen Zers. Taint. Pro surfing's gone to the next level.
God.
And he's just showboating.
Whoa.
You. Yeah. The chick. What? I didn't see this.
Jamie.
They're doing speedboat
Don't
trips.
do anything for views. You know how Elon Musk is kind of going crazy again?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they got footage of him vacationing in Costa Rica.
Is that Elon?
That's Elon, right? There.
Elon. He's like, I lost so many shares. This is my new Tesla skateboard.
Dude, he's wearing a G-thong.
No one buys Teslas. I'll show you.
So he's coming out with a Tesla, like, skyboat?
It's a new Tesla thong. And it can help you do anything you want.
Oh, it can turn into shorts. It's straight to thong.
New Tesla thong, and it gives you more bravery because it hits your
Dude.
root chakra.
Right. Dude, Elon.
Right.
Uh-oh. Surf skate twain, huh?
They're giving away all my secrets.
Wait, what?
Yeah, these are top surf skating secrets.
No, hold the cup.
Hold the can. Hold the can and be the man. Oh, look at him. It's working.
Oh.
Oh.
You usually use a West Peak, though.
Yeah, I teach kids with West Peak.
Uh-oh.
I be surfing on these hoes. Surfing on these hoes. Dude, this is me, dude. That's me at the U.S. Open.
Really? They have a
Huntington
surf?
Beach. Just surfing them hoes.
What's going on here? Wink!
I lay it.
What was that? A sponger?
Don't you, dude, it's kind of sick.
Oh, he flopped them.
Yeah, you want some flippers? The boogie probably should have knew how to fight.
With flip-flops?
But his bro, watch his bro.
Oh, my.
That's a car accident, and he's still hitting them with flippers.
Wait a second.
Who throws a flipper? I mean, honestly.
I mean, honestly.
Look
Look at this tackle. What a jerk. That freaking cheapskate tackle.
The boogie boarder has no fighting skills.
He just swapped it.
What is he thinking?
What a...
Because he's like starting the fight, pointing his face.
Yeah.
What is he thinking? Put your flippers down. Put the flippers down. Who throws a flipper? I mean, honestly.
Look.
He's like, yeah, sure, those fists hurt. But have you had a flipper?
What the fart? Is that a chick?
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Dude, that felt so good. So this guy cut him off, and see how he's trying to fade him off the back?
Oh, he's trying to push him out.
Yeah, he was trying to low-key fade him off the back.
Yeah.
And this core lord's like, don't you... He was he's like, if you even try. And he just launched at him.
What a
Just
sick.
watch, he sees him coming.
Dude, he John Cena'd him. Dude.
That's the way I feel surfing.
I want to see you do that to somebody.
I'm always just waiting.
Yeah, please try to fade me.
Like, I want to jump in midair and grab him on the head. And, just...
You probably could.
When I'm angry and people are like cutting me off, time stops.
Yeah, so it's...
It's like I can run on water or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Whoa." I'm like, I want to jump, grab their head.
This just impressed me. I just want to watch this. He's what? 12?
Is it a girl?
Kickflip frontside board, kickflip out. That's insane.
Oh my gosh.
And he's got glasses. Dude.
That's insane.
Seriously.
It would take me my whole life to do that.
That's like someone in surfing doing a rodeo flip or something.
Yeah.
Doosh, doosh. Oh.
I landed it. I'm 10. I worked so hard.
Dude, somebody invented surf skiing. But it's actually, look, check it out. So you push a board, and then boom.
Dude, that's so dangerous for your taint.
Oh,
I've almost ripped a taint.
Oh. Well, maybe he's got taint control.
He's got super strong taints.
Dude, this is the floater heard around the world. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
And then he
Tally-ho!
and then he ollies the leap of faith.
Lander! That was a gnarly floater.
Is that even like landable?
Floaters are dangerous, dude.
'Cause
More
I'll-
people get hurt on floaters than any surf
Really?
trick ever.
Because you're so up there or something?
Something about going down with the lip and the pressure, you're just asking for broken ankles.
And broken board, right?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, it's been done. The Christ air in surfing.
Oh, I think I saw this.
He does a Christ air. Krishna Soy shout out. Doink! Oh.
Dang.
Isn't that the Christ air?
That's sick. That was sick. It was so high, too.
Dude, so high.
That new wave pool in Brazil that they're at,
Yeah.
dude, that's where all the gnarliest airs are going down. I'm about to drop into a West Peak right now.
Dude, can I come?
Ready?
Let's go.
Whoa! That was gnarly.
Dude. What happened?
Dude, I feel like I just took on Mavericks.
Dude, I'm swinging right now.
Are you swinging over there?
What are you doing?
I'm smashing this bits.
Dude, this is so freaking good. Dude, these new flavors, need to order them right now.
These are the best flavors that I've ever flaved.
Iced tea with a hint of pineapple and lemon. Oh my gosh.
Mine is freaking dark cherry and lemon.
It's just fresh, dude. We're not lying. They use the freshest ingredients.
Honestly, we're not lying.
We're not lying.
Try it and then write us if
Yeah.
we're wrong.
And
And if we're wrong, Ryan will send you a flute song.
I'll send you a flute song. Order some, take a picture, and we'll put you on our Instagram and stuff. We want to see if you like it. It's so good. Go to drinkwestpeak.com. Type in Pinch My Salt for 20% off. Go to drinkwestpeak.com.
Drop into a West Peak.
Dude, what are we doing? Well,
My brother's here.
your brother's here?
The chorus of the Lord.
Dude.
That I'm wearing.
Dude.
Jeez.
Savalis.
Savalis with shark socks.
Dude,
Can you get
that's
any
your
more
seat,
core?
Yancy.
Oh yeah.
We got him, guys.
Okay,
Did you
so
get- did
first
you-
thing we talk about
Did you
today
get those
is.
at Ronjon?
Huh?
Did you get those socks at Ronjon?
No, I don't know where these sucks go. Thrift store. Probably.
What are we talking about?
First thing I want to talk about today is what we're blessed about. We were surfers, raised in a surf shop by a surfer, and he came up with a great surf shop name which represented him and what he wanted us to do, and we've achieved, and it's called the Inner Light.
The inner light.
The inner light.
That's what we're after. We're after an inner light. We want to shine our inner light. We want to share our inner light. We want people to find their own inner light. We want people to be on a mission to discover that there's something more than meets the eye, and it's an inner light that you have to find, turn on, connect to, grow from, live off of.
But when I'm surfing,
Yeah.
I just want to beat some people up there.
I
And it feels good.
just take it out on the wave, man.
Is that a part of the inner light or no?
I think the inner light is when you're in the wave and you just feel the energy of that wave. You pull from it. You pull it out, and you're like,
Like you're in a barrel?
You're like, I'm gonna transcend this energy force that traveled to me
Right.
and feng shui it into a schwack.
Oh. So all that energy from the bottom of the ocean
Yeah.
channels through you.
Yeah. The salt in the water, the
And doing a
sand,
gnarly cutback and just...
the matter,
The taint.
the matter of it all.
Dang.
So getting inverted,
Ooh.
like the paint.
The
I
up-
think you're right.
There is a maneuver back in the day called the upside down pineapple cake. Have you ever heard of that?
What?
No.
The upside down ratchet pineapple cake.
That was a move?
Is
Yeah.
that the inverted tricks thing?
Fully taint.
In
It
the
was-
bars,
it-
or?
Well, I think it transferred to the pole. Yeah.
So that's how modern day surfing came from strippers.
Well, that's why I was so good on the pole.
You're a pioneer.
Dude, pineapple.
Take surfing right to the dance floor. Well, we don't give surfers enough credit for how good they dance. Like every surfer is a really good dancer.
Dang.
That's true.
And that's where I say I try to win more breakdancing titles than any surfing titles.
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
That's the way you were showing the next
yeah. If,
generation.
I said, you guys, I could whip you in the water, but watch this on the dance floor. I said,
Dude.
Double whammy.
hit the beat.
11
Do you
times.
remember when we got into a breakdance fight with Andy Irons and Cory Lopez?
Yes. And I really I did battle. I went round and round.
You destroyed.
Wait a minute. So it was you two,
We were in Laguna Beach
Yeah.
with Andy Irons and Cory Lopez.
Yeah.
and you battled him?
Yeah, breakdance battled.
And we were at this weird club, and we didn't know why we're all here.
We took they took a limo. Or we
They're
in
in
a
a
limo?
limo?
They showed up in a limo. I remember that.
You guys were in a
We
van.
came in core.
We
in
came
a van.
in a van. Yeah, they came in a limo. Then it was a breakdance off at
So
the.
you and me are like, we're about to take them on.
Dang.
But then it turned into just him.
Really? You stepped back?
Yancy took over so gnarly. He was like doing like gymnastic stuff, like
The
on the
windmill,
horse.
the windmill, the
We
worm.
were like,
Yeah, I was.
And was Andy good?
Andy was good, but it was really kind
He's
of me
too
and
tall.
Cory. Me and Cory were really getting into it, but I think Wardo was there. There's a whole bunch of people. Oh,
it was the gnarly.
But
It was during the U.S. Open.
It was a surf.
I was doing the
dance
contest, and you
battle.
came and stayed with me.
Yeah.
Dang. I wish I was there.
Well, anyway,
But
he got the picture.
I got all
Like,
the fame.
where's
Where's the? Oh, you.
I didn't even dance.
No, Sterling's like crossing the
I was
dance
just walking
floor,
through.
and he's like cover of Surfer magazine, like dance off won by
the
Sterling.
gnarliest bad dance.
Sterling won the dance off. I'm like, hey, but that was all me.
He did all the heavy lifting.
He broke both of his shoes in half.
Oh,
His
that's
feet
right.
went through the shoe.
That's true.
The soles of the shoe. Your
Yeah.
feet went through.
I went through the shoe.
Dude. And
And Andy was like, dude, your brother's nerd.
Well, the next day we surfed.
He gave you props. Oh,
we-
yeah, we went to Lowers.
We went to Lowers, and Andy goes, "He's the guy.
That's the guy.
He's the guy
dude. So that you got respect.
for breakdancing." And also, and Devin Howard wrote about it in Longboard magazine. He's like,
Really?
"I don't know how good of a longboard he is, but he sure can breakdance."
Dude.
And I had to
That's
out
amazing.
breakdance Bonga Perkins for that title.
Bonga.
Yeah, me and
Was he a
Bonga.
good bump?
Bonga
'Cause
was
he played the
smooth.
bongos?
Yeah, he was smooth.
Dang.
But
So how many?
Bonga had like a crew, like a
On the west side?
he brought the whatever. We were in California for
Oh,
this,
in California.
and there was some contest, longboard contest, and Bonga had some boys, and they broke.
He's a
dance.
Hawaiian server.
Yeah,
Longboard server.
and
Oh,
he,
yeah,
he
okay.
must have brought the Kona Hawaiian breakdance team with him. They were radical.
Shipped him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
To
that was
fight
that was an
Yancy?
all-night battle there.
Dude.
Devin Howard wrote about it. He goes, "Yancy did pretty good against the Hawaiian breakdancers this year."
Dude. So is every surfer a good dancer? Because I have seen Aki dance.
Is he good?
It's pretty good.
Have you seen it? He did Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, he did.
and he
That's right.
wasn't too.
Well,
I don't think Tom
There's
Carroll
different
can
dances.
do it. Yeah.
so this is Yancy the Fourth,
Bros.
my brother. Probably one of the gnarliest core lords ever.
I'm feeling it.
You've got to be one of the number one core lords ever.
Just because I'm so mad.
I mean, who's put in the work that
I
you
put in
have?
the work, and I don't realize it till I look at pictures, and I'm like, oh yeah, at that time I walked 8 miles and drove for 8 hours, and it was still flat, and I haven't slit my wrist yet. What a core lord!
You put so much work. Like, you'll check the serve. Like, by the time I wake up, you've already checked like 8 spots.
And deleted 80 photos. No, not that one. I got to get a photo that makes it look like there's serve.
How did you become such a core lord?
Maybe just a different avenue of hunger.
Was it the 80s?
Yeah, 80s were fun. I ran from a lot of the stuff in the 80s. The 80s was full of kind of real clash of kook versus cool.
Really?
Oh yeah, because all the movies you didn't want to like Footloose or Cyndi Lauper, but you were kind of being sucked in that direction. You're like, you're just bright, light, bright. I don't know what we were. It was a diverse time period from the 80s to the 90s. We went from.
When did
You
you
know-
start surfing?
Well, I started surfing. I don't remember. I remember Beezer dragging me through the lineup, probably about maybe 5 or 6, hanging onto a leash.
So what year is that? 82?
No, I was born in 73. 5
Okay.
years later, 78, 79-ish.
Okay.
I think 5, I started kind of where I get off. I was riding a boogie board from like 3 to 6. You don't do much, but just
Yeah.
kind of.
Soft top.
But I think the younger you get into the water, the more comfortable you get. So by 6 and 7, you're not even thinking about the water anymore. You're thinking about what craft am I on and how am I going to ride it. So
Right.
a little head start.
Did you start on a single fin or a twin fin?
Started on a single fin. Yeah.
That's the best for surfing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, we just lost Dale Dobson, who was a great California surfer. We just lost Mike Hinson, which is a great California surfer. And
Endless summer.
these guys are legends. And what made them such legends, I guess, what I was thinking is they had so much style. I mean, just
oozing.
so. And I think from my research that I've been doing, studying surfing, that I think if you start on hard single fin surfboards that are difficult to ride, it brings out this inner style out of you to see how you're going to adapt.
Because you can't wiggle.
Well, yeah, you're adapting to a adversity that's very hard to overcome.
Yeah.
And I think by doing the soft top route, you're giving it to them so easy and light that they're not. We're creating a whole generation of light, easy, bright, kooky
Goobers.
stuff. Yeah, see,
Nerf people.
So we're kind of in the cycle where we're fighting against kookism relentlessly.
So yeah, that's a good point.
So I think that we should maybe pump the brakes on raising generations of soft toppers, maybe push them and not worry about the kids if they're going to live or die. Let's take that off the table. Give them something harder.
I mean, you didn't die. No one died from.
No, I mean, no one died. I mean, I have aches and pains.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about Ben Gravy. What do you think about him? Do you hate Ben Gravy?
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I have always took a strong stance.
Is it the soft tops?
I don't like I'm not calling him a sellout. I just don't like the image of selling out, which I guess we all have to sell in some way to make it. But at first, when he came on the scene, it was not good timing for me because I had such a strong stance about learning to surf on a real surfboard. And so then he made soft tops so fun for everyone. It was like, same as wave pools. Yeah. I was against wave pools. I thought the natural creating the ocean floor you can shape a wave by the shape of the ocean floor, and I thought the future would be just
reefs in the ocean.
Well, just like golf courses. The reason there's golf courses is because they make them. The reason there's not surf spots is because we're not making surf spots. We have the technology and all of it to replicate any sort of ocean bottom. Like you can take pipeline, for example.
Yeah, we can make a pipeline reef.
If you take the topography and the LiDAR of it and the angle, the scientists now can study depth, distance, ratio, grade, and you can replicate it in a smaller version. We could have a pipeline reef the size of this table, and I could put it in a depth of water to make any sort of boat wake or any wave break just like pipeline. Yeah, because we're reshaping something that already works. But you have to do it in distance and angles and swell directions. Well, I always saw it as that's how surfing's going to develop. And anywhere from St. Augustine to Daytona Beach could be a land of different type of surfing. Yeah,
like surf resort.
Yeah, well, surf modification, ocean modification, surf recreation, eco reef situations. I thought everything was going to grow into us taking the same thing they did with mountains. The reason everyone goes and snowboards and snow skis is because they moved the hillside,
they clear off the mountain,
graded the hillside, put up a ski lift. They made a modification to a mountain which allowed millions of dollars to go to that mountain and everyone to enjoy.
And they trick it out.
Yeah,
all the ramps, everything.
It's a recreational area that they modified. At that point in time, I was really into eco reefs, creating waves, ocean modification, and the art of a surfboard. Every little thing that you need to learn, from rails to tails to fins to that was it. I never
real organic surfing lifestyle.
I never saw pop out pool toys from China taking over. I never saw chlorine wave pools where retirement centers are. That wasn't in my, because I wasn't about money. I never thought money's going to drive this. I thought nature and organic and love.
So then Ben Gravy came along.
Well, Ben Gravy was so successful and so cheered on, where my eyes were blind by the world.
Do you think you would have respected him more if he maybe put in more time, like a Jamie O'Brien? You know, because Jamie O'Brien, Kalani, they put in time in the pro surfing world, right? And Ben just kind of went straight to soft tops. Right.
I just, do
you think that's what messed it up?
Here's what I think. I think we have a bias against New Jersey. I just don't think that we flow with the New Jersey type of mindset. And
so it's personal.
I don't know if it's personal. It's more territorial.
Like Florida versus New Jersey.
I mean, we went to New Jersey. Remember that? We actually made a surf movie called Drive Through New Jersey. And remember the one guy on the bridge? You're going the wrong way.
Oh, New Jerseyans are a strong breed.
They're just different. And I think that's all it is I'm not used to someone that different from what I classified as surfers. There's probably New York surfers that are different.
Yo, Ronnie, come down here.
So I think
Jersey, you got the giant boardwalk, and it's all about selling stuff off the boardwalk.
Well, that's the problem.
So maybe that's their mind.
Here's the deal. You have to pay $8 to walk on the beach in places in New Jersey.
I remember
the
that.
mafia owns the sand, the beach coastline. Same way in Fort Walton right now. The mean high tide line. They're arguing over who can sit on what part of the beach. And I'm like, how did we get to this point where humans are charging each other to walk on the planet they're born on? It's
Ben Gravy's fault.
Well, I think Ben Gravy was maybe raised in a different
Very capitalist
atmosphere. Yeah, like let's go make some money.
Right.
So
instead of being like, I want to put in the work. And
I don't think you can truly love soft topping. I don't think you can absolutely. I mean, it's fun. It's a wee fun, woohoo, wah fun, but you can't love it. There's nothing to it. It's flat. So I knew that there was not a love for that. So I guess I'm calling it out as I originally saw it to say there's no love in soft tops.
He's just not a core lord to you.
Well, I think he's done some unique work. He's done some work. He's gone to some unique places and put in with the work. So I give him respect as far as...
It's like if he just would have taken a normal board, it would have been so much... It seemed more commercialized.
He took a flash route. If he could get the Pineapple Express going, he took it. And so you can't.
Wow. He put on a pineapple wetsuit.
You can't pineapple.
So do you think
SpongeBob ears.
Do you think that's what sucked maybe the soul out of it? Because it's like it was cool surfing these random weird waves, right, off a boat, or
island,
these weird river waves. Right. But it was more about selling the soft top.
It seemed to be that.
So it took kind of the.
It was a bad timing for me because I saw the wave of soft tops coming for the surf camps, and I saw them at the trade shows, and then I saw them being promoted, and I thought, how do we wrestle this down? How do we put a rope on this? And it makes guys like me just want to throw your hands up and walk away because you're like, I can't beat the tide of
kooks.
That's that. I mean, I'm not calling anyone a name or judging them. I'm trying to put in facts in someone's face and say, these guys learned to surf on hard surfboards and they're great, and they push themselves to be great, and they had their inner style come out because they started on hard surfboards.
And it's priceless.
These kids started on pool toys, and they want to give up, and they don't really have.
They just want views and likes.
Yeah, they don't have
money.
So it's like, okay.
It is a pretty big divide in surf culture.
Well, the divide is you want to be nice to everyone, and then you're realizing they're going to soft top around you, and it doesn't make you feel good. It takes kind of your prestige out of it. Like, hey, I'm a surfer. I do it right. I'm doing as much as I can to ride the right board in the right ways on the right conditions, and then the soft topper comes by, and you're like, you're like, you're doing great, kid. You're doing great.
Something you just said about, these people that have found their style. I think that is the gold in surfing. We all have this unique you.
Yeah.
And Curran and these legends, we follow them, but then it shows you to yourself.
Right.
And it's being like a karate master. Right. It's priceless.
Or a guitar expert.
Yes, an insane guitarist.
Right.
Like that skill is priceless. Right. And I feel like every surfer, that should be your goal. Like any jiu-jitsu person, any karate, like that's the goal. Right. It's not like it's like a karate master, like someone like gonna be a karate master, and then they bring in this like red foam sword, and they're like, I'm going to become a karate master with a foam sword. And they're selling foam swords.
We're going to foam sword all day.
And now all the karate kids have foam swords.
Yeah, and they think that's the limit.
And then now we're standing around trying to do some real karate kicks.
These are real swords.
It nerfs everything.
It got nerfed.
So who's more core lord, Sterling or Yancy?
It's got to be Yancy.
Really? He wins?
I don't know. We're just different. We're all different.
I feel like I've tried foiling, which is not that core.
So you went down a notch in the core lord world?
I came close. It was all given to me on. I mean, there was John
you're
and
with John.
Nathan.
Oh yeah.
I watched these guys foil for 7 hours straight. Just I'd eat lunch and wake up after a nap and they're still foiling.
How
I'm
did you
like,
get
"What?"
on a trip with John in Tavarua?
Well, it was a Thanksgiving special, the Thanksgiving miracle.
Dude.
A good friend of mine had an opening, and he brought me, and we went there, and there they were, and they were having their first son, or his son Darwin's first Thanksgiving family.
Wow.
Is that
gathering.
his son's name, Darwin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool. It was cool to see him hold his little baby, and I said, "Wow, 18 years."
You're like an uncle now.
I was like, "Hey," I said, 18 years, I'll get to see him surf against Kelly's kid in 18 years."
I remember hearing stories about you, Yancy, and Sterling said that he looked up to you and he wanted to be gnarly like you. Is that true, Sterling?
Dude, the 90s, you're kind of on fire.
I was a lot older than you, though.
That's
So
what
I probably looked a little bit more like I had it together.
I feel like in the 90s, you were just going for it. You didn't even sleep. You're partying as hard as someone could party. And you're surfing as hard as anyone could surf.
I actually drove to California in a VW van. Gosh, it had to be 93. I just took off and just stayed in a van. And I would run into people like, "You live in a van?" I'm like, "I'm living in a van." It blew their minds.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." And so I lived all over San Diego in a VW van till I met Jason and Benji Weatherly.
Oh, yeah, you lived with them.
Yeah.
Wasn't Blink-182 there?
Yeah. Well, Joe Curran was living in there. And
You were hanging out with the Momentum generation.
so drove out to San Diego, met those guys, lived with them. Actually, Chris Markovich lived with us too. Driving a yellow VW van up and down the coast, living in it.
Were you trying to get in the surf movies at the time, or did you even know yet it was a thing?
We didn't know it was a thing. Here's what happened.
You were just focusing on the core lifestyle.
We were focused on as much surf
like
as
partying and surfing.
Party and surf. That was the cool years because I got to meet Taylor Knox and Rob Machado and really get into the California guys' scenes. You know, each little city had their own tribe and vibe, and that was cool to see California because I'd grown up in Florida. I mean, I grew up surfing with Kelly and all of them on the East Coast, so it was cool to kind of connect the West Coast.
Yeah, you and Kelly kind of grew up together, right?
Well, it was
In the same contest.
Yeah,
era.
he's 2 years older than me, but we would always have to go to the big contest together, and it would be, you know, one of his coaches or mentors like Matt Keckley, who would he'd put a circle in the sand and make me and Kelly wrestle. You know, we're at 7.
For what?
He'd dig a hole. Whoever got thrown into the hole, I guess, lost.
Who won?
Kelly was pretty good. Kelly was the best at running on jetties. Like if there was a jetty race, you'd be looking at your feet hoping you'd catch the next rock, and you look up and Kelly would be at the end of the jetty turning around coming back, and you're like,
Y'all did jetty races?
jetty race.
So just rock running?
Yeah, you just get up on the jetty and see who can run out to the end.
Who was making you guys do this?
You know, Core Lords, Matt Keckley.
Come on, kids.
Run on rocks.
Yeah, dude, you know. So anyway, it was always a battle.
You're an inspiring pro surfer in the 80s, 90s. And one of my earliest memories was we dropped you off in Hawaii. And didn't you live with like Rel Sun? Isn't she like the queen of Hawaii?
That was kind of my big intro to the surfing world was.
How did that happen? Didn't the owner of Locomotion, didn't he have a dream about you?
Yeah, the Locomotion with the trade show in Orlando, the guy named Rob Burns.
Rob Burns, yeah.
Yeah, he owned Locomotion, and I guess my dad was kind of like my manager at the time.
Yeah.
He had some pictures of me, so he was going around seeing if I could ever do contests because that's all you could do back then. And he showed us some pictures of this guy, and then the guy went up to his hotel, took a nap, came back as I had a dream that I'm supposed to help your son out. And so
And Rob Burns, this is like the biggest
He's the
surf
dude.
company in the world.
Coming off of all that with all of them, all the Hawaiians. I think every Hawaiian rode for Locomotion, and Locomotion was a cool deal. They had a lot of cool surfers on their team. So yeah, he flew me to Hawaii at 17. He goes, "I'm going to train you." So I got to train with Tony Moniz.
Yeah, Tony Moniz
I got
took you under.
I got to live with Tony Moniz. So that was an experience, driving around Hawaii on the North Shore. And Tony Moniz had a VW van.
And Tony Moniz is one of the best big wave surfers ever.
And super respected all over everywhere.
And the sweetest.
and the nicest, yeah.
big
And he was
Hawaiian.
he was a Golden Glove boxer. He was a tough
Oh,
dude.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be sitting, co-pilot with Tony Moniz at 18, driving around the North Shore, that was
What were you thinking?
I was
Was it
thinking,
just-
haha, Kelly's gonna be jealous. Kelly, just kidding.
Because Kelly probably wasn't even.
Kelly was there. He was
Oh, he
like,
was there?
he was like,
How'd you get
how'd you get this in? How are you this in already?
You're with Tony Moniz.
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
And so that was the cool part. Tony Moniz, he goes, I think you should go live with this lady named Real Sun. And I lived.
And explain Relson.
Real-
Because she's passed away.
They call her the queen. I mean,
She was one of the most important.
She was and she had the most style for a female surfer in that generation to break down so many doors of being a powerful, strong, confident, skillful waterman and surfer. She was. I mean, that's why they still to this day call her the queen.
Yeah.
So it was an honor for me, being from Pensacola, Florida, to live with the queen of the island, basically.
Yeah.
And so. And
What was she like?
Oh, so smooth, so mellow, so cheese, so everything.
What was
you
it
know?
like staying with her?
Well, we lived in walking distance to Makaha, so I got to surf from Makaha.
You're on the west side.
I'm on the west side. I'm surfing with.
West side's gnarly.
Well, it was cool because
Back then,
living with Rel,
you're safe.
I was safe because Buffalo
Yeah.
was the man, and so Buffalo Kealana had two sons, Rusty and Brian.
Right.
So I was.
Who are great longboarders.
Yeah, and I was instantly accepted into their family because through Tony
Yeah.
allowing me to stay with Real Son. So I had a real tight connection with the west side of Hawaii, which was a privilege. I mean, that's better than pretty much anything you want to
It's
achieve.
the gnarliest side.
Yeah, you don't want to achieve much. You just want to experience something like
Yeah.
that. And I got to experience a special moment. And Rob Burns was a Christian, and my dad was a Christian, and they were praying over me, and there was a good vibe to it. Everything was going good.
Good.
Everything was going good for
And
me.
were you longboarding at the time, or were you shortboarding? Because you're a good longboarder.
in the Gulf you have to longboard. It's just so I had already longboarded.
So you were into longboarding already?
I love longboarding. I just wasn't at 90 in the 90s. I wasn't gonna. But the longboard thing did take off.
Because Rusty and
Oh man,
the
Rusty.
Buffalo, like,
Watching Rusty
they were
longboard,
killing it.
it's light years ahead. I mean, switch foot, 360s,
and then
aerials.
Makaha with the big back.
Yeah, he would do
wheels.
big roundhouse cutbacks, rebound, switch foot, come down, tail slide it, 360 on the nose, in the tube. You're like, what else can the guy do? It's like, so yeah, Rusty Kealana, I think he was 3-time world champion.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then,
How long were you there for that? At Rel's house?
Rail's house, I was there about 3 months. I think I was out there for about 8 months.
Hmm.
And I got to live on the South Shore. I got to live at Sandy Beach.
With Tony?
Tony kind of lived near there, but I lived with some other local guys, and a guy named Eric Barton, who I stayed with, who actually him and Tony said, hey, we're going to go fly over to Tahiti and see. There's this wave this guy, Vitia David, keeps talking about. We're going to go look at it and see if it's rideable. And so I was going to, I was going to go, and then I didn't go. I was like, I said, I don't think I'm ready for any of that. Because I was honest with myself. Yeah. And I'm glad they didn't take me, because I wouldn't have probably gone. But to see, years later, see Cory Lopez just, and you're like, how did you do it? I could have been the first. So anyway, yeah. So Eric Barton wrote the very first actually picture of it, made, I think, the cover of the magazine, Surfer Magazine, Chopu. So yeah, that was my intro to the surfing world in the early 90s, was with the Hawaiian style.
And you're sponsored by Locomotion.
Locomotion, yeah.
Were you going to surf piping on the North Shore?
See,
were you climbing the rankings?
See, I was soaking it all in, and I was pretty small. I think it's still at 17.
Oh, you're 17.
It was 17 turning 18.
So it was.
I hit puberty late. I hit
It was
puberty at
scary.
17, 18. Yeah, I was just a kid, and a skinny little blonde kid, and I couldn't see me going out. But I did get to caddy. I caddied for Tony in the Sunset Contest. That was fun.
Oh, wow.
And then I got to see Kelly's first Sunset event, and he almost drowned. That scared me.
Is that why he hates Sunset?
Well, man, he almost drowned. I thought he was dead. But anyway,
Wow.
yeah,
Because Kelly's notoriously doesn't like Sunset.
I was there for that wave. I watched him get hauled down so long, it scared me.
I wonder
but-
if that's why.
Yeah, it could be. Inside Sunset is gnarly.
Oh, Sunset's low key one of the gnarliest waves on earth.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
You have to be there to see it because it's so far out.
Yeah, you have to be on the backside looking back at it.
Oh
Going,
my
"Ooh."
gosh, Sunset's gnarly.
So here it is. The pipeline comes up, and that was the year Tommy Carroll got is probably 91 or 2. You might find the footage. Tommy Carroll falls from the sky and then just cranks this bottom turn into the
to the hack.
into the
Oh,
hack.
the turn.
Yeah, the hack. It was the final was Glenn Winton, Tommy Carroll, Derek Ho, can't remember who else, but I got to sit in the channel for that. I watched Tommy Carroll drop in on that wave, and I was in the channel, and that was like, okay, I'll never do that. Like that's man stuff. And then the next Luke Egan did this off the lip on a 10-foot wave, and I said, man, I'm years away from doing anything on a wave that big and that powerful.
Wow.
So I was a late bloomer, so I'm just gonna chalk it up to that. I couldn't do it.
So why'd you leave?
Oh, good question. You know why I left is because
Well, you didn't have Instagram.
I had nothing.
If you had Instagram, I think you would have stayed.
I would have stayed.
Because you wanted to tell everyone.
I
at
wanted to
home.
tell my friends I made it. And all
You're crushing it.
I'm crushing it. I'm killing it. I'm living
You
the
couldn't
dream.
crush it life any harder.
And so what happened? I wanted to brag. I gotta brag. So that's what got me. I wanted to come home. You know, I don't know what. Maybe I wanted to take a break from the pressure.
It is gnarly to be out there that young,
alone. Yeah,
all the time.
It must have been lonely.
It was kind of lonely, but it was cool, wonderful, cool friends I met. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
But the waves, the energy, constantly, it can take a toll on you.
Yeah,
if you're from what I remember,
Yeah.
when I was living there, like, I'm like, can I get a break from 200-foot waves? Like,
How big is it again? Huh?
and the pressure. If you're a surfer, there's pressure
Yeah.
on you. Like, hey, oh, you're not out.
Yeah, where
like
you-
people start noticing you're
Where
not
are you paddling
surfing.
out at? You're like, I'm going soon.
And in Florida, you get a break.
Yeah.
Oh, you get too much break.
You get to where you're starving and you'll paddle out on anything. You're like,
Right.
hey, what?
Then
It's,
you're missing.
it's 40 feet and closing out. That's great. Let's do it.
Dang.
So yeah, okay. So I came back, and then that's when it all fell apart.
What?
Well, I came back to brag, I guess, and tell them.
So where are you going to come home and go back out?
That was the plan. Come home, tell everyone how awesome I am, and
Yeah.
then leave
Yeah.
again.
Did you? Yeah, show some pics.
And I think I came home, and it was spring break, and
Mm.
it was everyone was partying and naked and drinking.
And you're Irish.
Yeah, and I like drinking. You know, I actually, at this point, I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it.
Right.
Were you
Because-
drinking yet then?
Not really. I mean, I would drink, and I would, do backflips off the building or whatever it was called for that night. A lot of my injuries are from breakdancing, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
You put in so much work.
physically.
You put in so much work at the bars.
Yeah.
It's like, is there any documentation of this stuff?
No,
Because you're such a legend at the
well,
bars.
the
Beach
only
bars.
person that knows it is a couple people in Jacksonville, and then Sean Slater of all people. Me and him, when we look at each other, we know that we have achieved.
You put in the work.
We put in heavy. Like, I mean, when Sean Slater was the Volcom
Oh my God.
bus driver, like for the Volcom, the Warp Tour, and we were on that. The Volcom Warp Tour. And see, that's what things went really wrong mid-90s. It's like the Wardo, the Lost, the
Too
brain
gnarly.
damage, the Jackass. I mean, all of it went off the rails to where we were just
Who
damaged.
could be the gnarliest?
Who could damage them? Who could give themselves the most brain damage? And
Yeah.
that was like, you win the prize. And
Yeah.
Like the core Lord prize.
yeah, and so I don't know, maybe in
It's
the
all reputation then.
well, it could, like I'm talking about the 80s, there was this friction starting to build between kooky and cool, like
Right.
are we Cyndi Lauper, are we Wham? And then all of a sudden are we Judas Priest, and it's Judas Priest and
so the music was changing.
yeah, it was like this, you could go heavy metal or you could go boo-wop, and it was like and the tension, and like it just
And
exploded.
Nirvana hit.
Yeah, Nirvana hit, and then everything went
Rebel.
wow,
Dang.
Flannels for everyone.
flannels, and get your head banging on.
Dude.
Oh yeah, I
So-
remember y'all had such long hair.
Well, it was Metallica was the big deal.
Mm.
And headbanging, of course, now is not good for you. It took a while to figure that out.
Y'all were the guinea pigs.
We were. And it could be a psyops. You never know. Now that we're this far down the road,
Right.
we don't know if we're just being played against each other or just tested like guinea pigs.
Well, don't you think Kelly might have been tested on?
Well,
Because he lived right next to the space station?
Mm.
I learned that theory from you.
yeah, my theory is because of our parents. See, our parents were Woodstock and LSD, and they're coming from their parents, which were pretty much right out of the Second World War, which we still don't know the truth about any of that.
Yeah.
But they're always ahead of us.
Yeah.
The military's way ahead of us.
Right.
So I think the first PSYOP MLK, whatever you want to call it, ultra breakdance, mind control.
Get them partying.
Well, I think it was having to do with the LSD and the drugs.
Right.
And I think that because our parents, especially
70s.
my mother and I think Kelly's mother, she was hanging with the kind of the Cocoa Beach party crew too. And I think, see, astronauts back in that time were rock stars. Like that
Right.
was the top. If you were going to be an astronaut and go into space,
Right.
you were the top dog. You were the hero. I mean, they were on cover of magazines. Like that's kind of how Cocoa Beach or Florida even got popular. Is people wanted to drive down and see these astronauts and
Mhm.
hang around them and be
And
around
Kelly's dad was an astronaut?
them. Kelly's dad was just a core fisherman, but
Oh.
his mom, I think, was getting the good stuff.
Like the Dong?
The good stuff as far as the mind,
Oh, the
the
astronaut
government mind control
drugs.
stuff. Yeah, I think the
The
government mind
NASA drugs.
the real drugs, the ones that were supposed to make superhumans, were already around.
So it got to Kelly?
I,
the breast
no,
milk?
what I it's called it's called hardwiring. It's in your DNA. It's in your cells. So anyone who's
So you
already
think he was hardwired?
yeah, and I think that we're a little hardwired. I'm probably a little more hardwired than you are because we have different mothers. But
Yeah.
I believe that when they came here and did the test because of our Navy here, they brought the other government drugs as well,
Right.
and that's why they had the den of iniquity and all the other weirdness that happened and you know, a lot of the baby boomers will probably be mad like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, you know, growing up in it and looking
I mean,
at it
you saw it.
I see it from both sides. I see that they were under attack. The Woodstock was an attack on society. When Woodstock
Like for
happened,
their brains.
for all of it, just when sex, drugs, and rock and roll hits the scene like that, I'm telling you, all three of those take you down. That's just, they take you down. Now, I can't sit there and point fingers and judge anyone.
Because you're enjoying it.
Well, yeah, I got sucked into it too. But on the flip side, it's just it's an endurance game and it's a suffering game. And if you can learn how
yeah.
to suffer and endure whoever suffers in,
hangovers.
oh yeah, that's
No one can take a hangover like you.
oh, it's horrible. I don't even want to look back at that because it was, it is, alcohol is horrible. But the problem is it's because your fleshly body craves it
Crazy.
more than your brain can understand. So your brain is trying to justify why your body's giving you all these signals and symptoms
Yeah.
to drink.
And your side, your mom's side is Irish.
Yes,
So you're like
DNA wired.
you
ready
are
to party.
primo for
Truth.
Dang, dude. So wait, hold on. So Kelly,
I never thought about that.
it's pretty interesting.
Because he was born literally right next to the space station.
No, it's the government. I'm
So
telling you,
Kelly is like
between the Navy base being here and they were gonna launch the shuttles off of Pensacola Beach, and then they decided, we'll move it down to Cape San Blas. Then a hurricane hit. Then they moved it to Cape Canaveral. So it was originally going to be along here, and where they have the technology to fly around and pick out the most pristine locations across America.
right.
I don't know.
So Kelly would have been a fisherman.
If he didn't take the drugs.
Or tennis.
Tennis.
I think he was a tennis guy.
So you think that's why he's such a genetic freak?
I think that there could be some truth to us being hardwired through a genetic manipulation from the 70s that caused the Woodstock generation to almost Pandora box America into madness.
And it started with Kelly.
He's part of it.
I think Kelly was a key specimen.
Because you've seen him stretch, right? He can put his toes.
I've seen him do everything.
He can
So,
bend
everything?
backwards.
Yeah.
I've read that he has
He's a double jointed back.
some sort of weird back that he can do stuff.
It's his feet, it's his back, it's his hands,
it's not
his
fair.
arms. Yeah, he's a specimen of
Like-
unique proportions.
Doesn't his hands? Can he like touch the back of his hand or something?
They're just like wide paws and these extra
He
long.
has huge feet too,
His
right?
giant feet.
Webbed fingers.
And he's got style because he learned on a hard surfboard, not a soft top.
There you go, baby.
You can see a lot of Curran in his style, especially in his younger,
And Sean Thompson. I see Sean Thompson in it.
especially
too.
in the barrel riding.
Yeah, or his backside bottom turn, stuff like that. All right, enough of Kelly. We love you,
We
Kelly.
won't talk about Kelly on it. Have you ever gotten into fights with soft toppers?
I have not.
Foilers,
Not worth it.
though.
Foilers, I have. Here's my thing on
Foilers are
If you're
scared
gonna put
of
me
you,
out there,
Ryan.
here's the thing about foiling. Foilers were invented to ride swells where there was no surf. End of story.
End of story.
Okay, now to take it the next level, when I personally go surfing, what I enjoy the most about surfing is that I'm trying to leave everyone behind so I don't have to see all their stuff. And when I'm surfing, all I see is this horizon
Nature.
and a wave, and my focus is now so simple. I'm waiting on that wave, and then all of a sudden I see a and in my mind I'm like, oh, no, I don't need to see that. Like, you could be doing that anywhere. Like, why are you here at the
Why are you bouncing in front of me?
at the surf spot at the pier? Well, we want everyone to see us. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to see you bounce around.
Dude.
And they can't really ride the waves because it's so fast and short here.
That's what I'm saying. Pick us. They don't want to put in the work. They could take their foils out to a channel, out to another
Yeah.
sandbar,
And really ride some swell.
if they really enjoyed nature and the actual thing. But you can tell right away they just want to park next.
So you think it's an ego thing?
I think
they want to dance
they're
and
at-
prance in
if
front
they're
of you.
where the surf is and the surf's going on, and to be a part of the surf, I think it's an ego thing. If they were really wanting to foil, and that's what was so cool about watching Nathan and John foil, is of course they were at their own little spot, but they went out on jet skis trying to find little angles and places to get the longest.
Right.
They weren't going to cloud break, bouncing in front of people.
There's no need.
We need to put up some no foiling signs at the pier.
No, how are you going to start that? Then it's going to be weirdness.
Foil boarding is a crime.
All of it's a crime.
But wasn't
people
boogie
shouldn't
boarding
even-
like foil boarding in the 80s? I remember Dad, he made a sticker that said "Friends don't let friends boogie board."
Let's bring that back.
Or is that more soft top?
We also had stickers, locals only. You know, now you
Mm.
get Tesla lovers hating you on that one.
Dang, dude.
I remember going to beach bars, and when you walked in, people like moved.
Like Clint Eastwood, like, woo.
It's more like a disco, like John Travolta. Like,
Oh. Heck yeah.
You were the party.
Yeah, he's here. We can start.
Like
I'm glad it's behind me. Though.
you had
Yeah.
so much respect in the beach bars. Like you should have a statue. No one's put in the work like you have.
It's all good. I've moved forward.
Like I remember, like in the 90s, I remember you surfing all day, and then you party all night. And I remember walking to the beach, and you were sleeping in the sand, and you just woke up, grabbed your board, and you surfed the whole day, doing gnarly barrel rolls.
Hardwired.
Oh, he's hardwired.
You think it was the hard wire?
Yeah.
Dude, he's a core lord.
It's if you're hardwired from that generation and been through that, then and you were pushed in that position. I don't know if it was mind controller or not. But
Dude, that's crazy.
Were you tired? I can barely.
I can't remember when I first got tired. I remember it though. Give me a minute. I'll remember because I was like, man, I think I'm tired. You know who it was? Is when we saw that guy, Tony.
What's this feeling?
Yeah, it was a weird feeling. Tony Savani, is that his name? The longboarder.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Tony Savani.
Yeah.
I remember. We
From
had,
the East Coast.
Yeah, I had surfed like we were both there. That contest had surfed 3
New
different
Jersey?
divisions. No, it's in Jacksonville maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And I was getting ready for the longboard semifinal or something, and then I went, man, I think I'm tired. And Tony Savani rolled up, and you're like, what's up, bro? He goes, I got to surf against your brother. I'm coming up in the next heat. He goes, I've been out all night rollerblading or something like that. Remember that? And I looked at him and I went, oh no, he's the next generation. I'm getting old.
Next hardwired.
I was like, I couldn't rollerblade all night and surf 3 events. Oh man.
Wow.
So
First time feeling tired.
it was at that contest, and I realized,
And you're like 30.
yeah, I was like 31.
Like, I'm tired?
Well, you moved to Jacksonville for a while, and didn't you and Limp Bizkit get into a fight?
Well, we had a band called Grizzlock.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we were the first guys. A guy named Troy Hutto gave me a job doing landscaping, and he sold the green in town. And so,
Weed.
yeah, and he had the
Legalized
in
weed.
Jacksonville. You have the hood, and the beach.
Right.
It's there. And
It's a
so
full-on city.
It's a full-on, and it's the hood, like gunshots on the beach stuff. So anyway,
It's got some ghetto.
yeah, the Ghetto Boys were working with me on the landscaping truck that he put me in, Grizzly Bear and Dickie Lee. And so I was wedged in between, and they were rappers, but I knew a guy named Matt Lochran was a guitar player, and I said, he jams, let's all jam. Troy Hutto put a jam together, and that's when the band called Grizzlock started. And it was rock and rap. Now that's kind of how Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, he was
Oh yeah.
See, Korn was from Jacksonville, and there was heavy metal guys, but there was also rap guys. So it was like this, you know.
Oh, interesting.
But we were already, our minds were so blown away by the Beastie Boys.
Were you rapping?
Yeah, we were rapping.
Yeah, I was rapping.
Yeah, there's a lot of rapping going on.
Okay, so Beastie Boys is coming on the scene.
Well, Beastie Boys is there. Like they
they're
were
like the OG
established as
white rappers.
right? So that we knew white people could rap. They would allow it. It was allowable. But you had to bring it. I mean, the Beastie Boys set the level so high.
Dude.
When no other white rapper could even get close. So it was like,
So you guys got into Slipknot?
well,
It's Korn.
Slipknot was there, Korn was there, and we were Grizzlock was rapping and rocking.
We are Grizzlock.
Yeah, rap, rock.
Yeah, dude.
And so
I was riding my single fin and I came around the bend.
No, but
Get off the soft tops. Get off the foils.
And then here comes what's his name? Durst.
Yeah, Fred Durst.
Yeah, I want to be a rapper too.
Didn't y'all get into a fight?
No, it was more like kind of the bar scene. I had my corner.
You had Grizzlock.
I had
You
Grizzlock.
starting Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I get to my bar scene, the Ritz, and he put this velvet rope up. Like that was his corner. I was like, hey man, that's my corner. That's not your. So we kind of
in the bar.
yeah. So we kind of got in a
Kind
little
of like a legit rope.
So then I breakdance challenged him. I said, all right, we'll see whose area
Right,
this
right.
is after this dancing gets.
So y'all had a dance off.
we had a dance throwdown, and then
You and Limp Bizkit.
yeah, and then I guess I did I think Buddy Evans was there. I did a windmill round. Well, I kicked him somehow, and then his
You kicked Limp Bizkit?
yeah, and he had
Fred
he had this
Durst.
bodyguard, which is
Oh, so he was already kind of famous.
well, he learned how to play the game. If you act like you got a bodyguard,
He's faking it.
yeah, he faked it till you make
So
it.
you make it.
He made it, faked it, made it.
So you
So
kicked
you
Fred
roundhouse
Durst.
kicked Limp Bizkit.
We
in
had
the
a
face.
breakdancing battle, and I put him to shame. But I guess when I kicked him, he threw my ribs, and then the bodyguard jumped on me, and it was a big, and then whose corner was this of the bar? It was just,
That is awesome.
all of it was wild. I mean, from honestly, all from the Vans Warped Tour to the Jackass. I mean, all of it.
And didn't
Blink 182.
I remember when I came and visited you? You're living in Mayport, which is like kind of off Jacksonville a little bit, right? Like a fishing village.
Yes.
And I remember you worked on a casino boat, right?
Mhm.
And you took pictures, and you just got your first tattoo.
The truth.
Tell us about this first tattoo. Because getting a tattoo in our family,
Oh, let's don't do it.
it was like breaking one of the 10 Commandments.
All right. Well, let's.
When I saw your tattoo, I was like, he's the bravest person I've ever met.
and
He
here's
worked on a casino boat?
all right. I can be honest about this. I worked on a casino boat. Fell in love with one of the waitresses on the casino boat.
As you do.
She had a boyfriend for a year.
Oh, no.
She came to work crying. I said, "What's wrong? My boyfriend just broke up with me." I said, "My birthday's coming up. Would you go to dinner with me?"
So you're swooping in.
So I'm swooping in, and I'm thinking, how do I show this girl without just going, "I've been in love with you forever"?
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll get core.
You show her how much of a core lord you
Yeah.
are.
So, but at that time, our family, like, what was one of the Bible verses on the wall? Thou shalt not get,
tattoo.
or whatever. The next verse was, shave your beard or something.
Don't be gay. Don't get a tattoo.
Don't shave your beard.
Don't shave your beard.
Yeah. And beat women. No.
Beat them so they know.
So I had to get a little liquid courage to go get the tattoo, but I tricked her, got her to sign her name on a napkin.
Damn, that's smart.
Yeah, so I took the napkin to go see Gator. who
Is
was
that the tattoo artist?
Yeah.
I'm Gator.
But so here's the deal. On the way, I said, "There's nothing that's going to stop me from getting this tattoo." And then I looked in the rearview mirror, and this car just crashes into the back of me. Just
What?
yeah, and I was into classic cars at the time. I had a '64 Ford 500 Galaxy. Beautiful.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Pull your microphone.
It was a beautiful car.
Eat the mic. Get it real close.
64 Ford Galaxy 500 rims, blue two-tone. It was beautiful.
Oh, I remember that.
It's a sweet
That
ride.
thing was insane.
So, but this guy who crashed into me, Gonzalez, he was an escort.
Oh.
So his escort was completely smashed, and like my bumper was like a little down. So I was like, I'll get that fixed. So I let him go. And for some reason, I still went and got the tattoo. But
Oh, you had a sign from
So
God.
God tried to stop you, and like, I'm still going for it.
Dang.
and then Gator said, "Don't do it."
Even Gator said?
Gator said, "Don't do it."
What is the tattoo of?
It was her
We don't have-
name.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was Sabrina on your chest, right?
It was a name.
That's why he got her to write her signature.
I got it.
But the funny part of it is the getting it removed, which
Oh, you got it.
But wait, we need to hear the story.
well, the technology. This was new technology because I
no,
said,
we got to hear.
all right. She said, "Don't ever talk to me again." I can't
Hey,
believe
you
you did that.
like
I
you
I-
take her out.
Yes, took her to dinner.
Okay.
Got the Terrence Trent D'Arby CD out. Played the song "Sign Your Name Across My Heart."
What?
Decorated my
You're romantic.
decorated my own private restaurant. It was called Dulcinea. Everything set, tables, roses, lights, music,
Tattoo.
and then the tattoo revealed. And she said, "Don't ever talk to me again."
Oh my! What a jerk!
What?
Shattered, dude. Just shaved my head, went off the deep end. So anyway, so now
What about this stripper?
let's don't talk about.
we got it.
No, I talked to this other person, and this they go, "There's this technology out that you can get them removed." I was like, "You can get your tattoo
Like a
removed?"
seashell?
No, it was a
Scratch it?
laser therapy, and they're like,
Oh.
yeah, lasers had just come out. So we were like, "Wow!" So they put me in this chair, and I have to wear like these biker goggles, like astronaut goggles and
Because
belts.
it's so much.
Yeah, and then like
radiation.
They bring the laser beam around and line it up. And I'm looking at this giant contraption. I'm all covered in leather and goggles.
All for this girl.
And they take out the spot. This is the only shirt I've ever gotten compliments on. I have no idea why, but anyway. So they got the space. They're ready. The first laser hits me, and it goes, and smoke rises up to my nostril, and it was just burnt flesh, and I was like, "Ah!" And then it was the next one, and it looked like giant little explosions. I was like,
Sabrina, fuck you.
yeah. So an hour of it.
Screw you, Sabrina.
I mean, I was numb to it at this point. And I didn't tell you about this. They go, "Do you want some numbing agent?" I said, "Yeah." So they put this needle like
In your heart?
right here to the muscle.
Oh my God.
And I guess it was her first time I was a guinea pig of this, and she had hit some sort of nerve. Yeah, for years. My boob was just jiggling. I was like, I've got nerve damage from a tattoo removal.
Oh.
Yeah, God will give it to you, man. You want to rebel against God?
Oh.
He's gonna serve it up to you. That's the key.
Jeez.
So did it?
So after it healed, that was the first session. It was $75. I was like, thank God it's over. Praise. And so
Praise the
they
Lamb.
bandaged me up, and then they go, "Okay, well, we'll see you in about a month and a half for your next session." I'm like, "My next session?" They're like, "Yeah, it's going to take a few."
Dang.
12 sessions. So a year and a half later,
Getting
I'm
lasered.
still getting lasered
So
on
now
my
you,
chest.
now you can get to go to heaven now.
I don't know what that means.
Because you got your tattoo removed.
No. Okay, here's the deal.
Here's what happened.
Yeah, when it finally healed, I'm looking in the mirror, and it's her name in white. And I went, now I've just got a white tattoo. I was like, this is
I love that they just followed.
They followed it perfectly. I was
Like, why wouldn't they think, let's do a square or
I
something?
don't know.
Dang,
So then,
dude.
almost 2 years later, I'm back to see Gator. And I've got a book of animals. I'm like, we got to find an animal to cover up this word.
Dang.
So anyway,
So you got a hawk. Hawk Tua.
well, the deal is one of the lasers that hit the B in the word, I guess, was near something else. And so
A nipple.
Must have some sort of skin malnation.
Right.
So when they got the new tattoo of the bird, the head part of the bird happened to be right where.
So it's a headless bird.
Yeah, it's a headless bird. And then Dumb and Dumber come out right after that, and I was like, our pets' heads are falling off.
Oh, dude. That's
So it's like any which way God could go.
dude.
Didn't you try to get Sabrina back though in your car? Didn't you like do some donuts in her car?
That was
And her-
that was part of the breakdown. It's part of the mental breakdown.
Sabrina.
All right, let's get off of Sabrina.
Sabrina
that
rocked
was-
your world.
that was a
dude.
story,
And
Yancy.
she married Limp Bizkit.
She married Fred Durst.
No, no. The girl's name, I hate to say her last name, but
You don't have to say it.
Don't say her last name.
her name was. Anyway, she was a playmate from Jacksonville.
She was a playmate?
Well, the other girl was, and the girl. So she invited.
Not Sabrina.
No, Sabrina's arch enemy was a
Oh.
playmate. So she invited me to the Playboy Mansion for a party, and I happened to be in LA, and I was like, yeah, but back then we didn't have cell phones, so you had to find a phone and call a number and find out when you're going to meet and hang the phone back up.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't want to rush it, act like I'm eager. I was like, I'll call her tomorrow. So I call her, and she's like, where are you? I was like, what do you mean? She goes, the party was last night. How'd you stud me up? I was like, what? I thought the party was tonight. I said, should have called you.
Dude.
Well, guess who she met that night? Fred
Durst.
Durst.
No!
And they had a kid together.
What?
Dude.
All kind of weird stuff.
Maybe they
there's
named him Yancy.
So there's insane beef with you and Limp Bizkit.
Dude. Dang. Yancy, that's crazy.
So, I mean, getting it all is not.
No. Surviving it's neat. I've survived it. And
Right.
like I said, endurance,
Yeah.
suffering. Once you get to that point, you realize, okay, this is all just a suffering endurance game. We're all hurting. We're
Yeah.
all in a daily battle. That's why I go back to the Bible, open it up, and I read, like in James, it says, what's causing your troubles? It's the battle within you. The
Right.
battle of what you want you can't have is basically it, because you're involved in this world
The flesh.
that God's trying to call you out of. So
Your soul.
you'll never quite be there if you believe that there's a calling for you to go out of this earth into another life, and all of it's right in front of us. Everyone dies, so we all are going somewhere.
Right.
Dang, bro. Preach
So
it.
don't get a Tesla.
Don't get a
Or a
Tesla. Don't
tattoo.
get a tattoo. You
go
don't
now.
have to lose brain cells by partying. Don't drink alcohol. You learn a lot as you get older.
Dang.
But would you trade in those experiences?
Yes,
Really? You would.
they're all just
For
dam-
what?
They're all just damaging. Maybe not to go so far out, so extreme. Maybe I have to go so extreme to try to see things the way I should see them, which is answers, because I'm always seeking the truth.
Well, how did you survive everything?
It's a miracle.
You died so many times.
It's a miracle.
Wow.
I mean, 5 years ago, you almost straight up died.
5 years ago, I was in the hospital, alcohol induced.
And then the doctor said you can't.
Yeah, the doctor said that you'll die if you keep drinking. And so I think I had one of those moments. There's a lot of AA stories, but my moment, it was more of actually going down and dying and having a spiritual moment to where I think my whole life striving to find answers and truth.
Yeah.
I think the truth came back and kind of rewarded me with a little of, is this what it's all about? Is this it? Is this what you think it is?
Right.
Are you ready to go? And I said, this is how I'm going to go. And it was almost like another part of me said, no, this isn't how you're going to go. And so I knew that there was another way than that. So I got a second chance, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and that's a
cool.
blessing to have a second chance. It's a blessing to be sitting here and seeing that, all of us go through our things and grow and share. And my desire is to try to help surf and surfing in the surfing, world and environment and try to be a part of it without it overwhelmingly being so worldly and corporate.
Right.
So I want to bring soul into surfing some way, and I think by me trying to stay true to surfing is the only way I can be some sort of light to show, hey, if you keep doing it, it will pay off, and you have to look back to see the payoffs. Like you're saying, would you trade any of it in?
Yeah.
Now that I look back at pictures of me surfing the last 5 years, I those are my rewards. Like I see those as achievements, that second chance, grace grace is a huge word. Once you actually read that thing in James about how no one's doing it right, everyone's praying for things for their own pleasures, and all of it's against God, and it's in those terms it says, if you are a friend of the world, you're not a friend of God. And what that really means is you're not going for that extra step. You're trying to stay in the world, and everything it gives you when you can go further than what the world offers you.
Yeah.
And that is the reward, is to trying to elevate towards a
Well, I was thinking about both of us, you know. You almost died drinking. I had a brain injury. And now we're surfing. We're surfing harder than anyone. Maybe in the world. I mean, who's putting in the work that we are?
I don't know. I see people surfing a lot on Instagram. Gnarly Charlie's put in some work.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty nerd.
We put in as much work as the Gulf allows us to do.
What I think is beautiful, I feel like we've both discovered, is like surfing was the reward the whole time. And losing that, you know, like that connection. Because when I feel like both of us, we grew up, our dad was a professional surfer. So it was put on us. Y'all have to be the next thing. And it's like, you almost forget about the joy of surfing because it's like, I need to be someone. I need to be like my dad. I need to be Yancy Spencer IV. I need to be bigger. Everyone came up to us. You have big shoes to fill everywhere we went. And you're named after him. Like, I couldn't imagine the shoes people are telling you to fill. And then now we're getting older, and we surf because we love it. And it's like, if we could have had that at the beginning, I think those are the lessons we've learned through life. You know, like the connection with God through surfing. You know, that's what saved us the whole time. And that's what was the reward the whole time.
True. Wow.
Like, there's all these old people sitting around town, and we're out in the ocean dancing.
I know.
We're lucky.
Wiggling. I just wish we could go further with it. I'd love to go see Mark Akalupo in Australia and
Go see him.
And go see Tony Moniz in Hawaii.
Start Salt Life again.
It's just, we just don't have much time. Time is so fast right now. It's like trying to plan and put things together.
I mean, you just went to Tavaroo with John. Like, how?
That's cool.
You can't go higher than that.
So I got to slow down too.
I'm not saying slow down. I'm saying the gift was surfing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, losing it
Yeah.
was the scary part.
That's true.
For me, like, to walk again, I was like, I'll do anything to surf.
Right.
Like, I remember there was a year there where you couldn't surf.
Yeah.
I remember pushing you out.
Yeah.
Like, your body, like, froze up. And now you're freaking ripping.
Yeah, I remember you laying in a dark room, just not being able to move.
It's like God put us in timeout.
Sort of.
Because we lived a privileged life.
That's true.
Dad gave us a pretty killer surf life.
Yeah.
Not too many kids, like, Dad's a pro surfer. And, like, we're getting in the van and we're going to go on a surf trip every week.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't know how privileged we were until it was taken away.
True.
That's the way I felt.
I agree. I pushed the envelope too far, and so.
I mean, you're way gnarlier than me.
You flew too close to the sun.
Well, yeah, I feel like being Yancy Spencer IVI's son is kind of wild for our area.
Yeah. Well, I did as much as I could with what I had. Kind of like, what's her name said that? Can't remember. It's a famous
Sabrina?
saying. No.
Dolly
Mother
Parton?
Teresa.
Oh.
I did so much with so little for so long. I think I can do anything.
Hmm.
And that's kind of how I felt, because me and Dad had a clash, you know, back in.
Yeah,
like,
what was you and Dad's relationship?
When I came
like?
back from Hawaii, he said, "You ruined your life," because I'd come back from Hawaii, and I was like, "Oh."
Because he's like, you had it all.
Yeah, and so he kind of got, we kind of got into this
Joel, go.
We kind of got in a battle, yeah. And I said, "Well, I'll show him. I'll do it on my own." But everywhere I went, people were like, "Here."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I didn't have any desire to outdo anyone in surfing. Like,
surfing. You and me were so different. In like, you were never a contest surfer.
The trying to win the event didn't quite make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I just thought that was a lot of effort for a very little reward. I I wasn't tuned into money makes the world go round, and you need it.
Right.
So I was sheltered not to ever been taught, hey, you're gonna have to make money to live, which made it this far, but not much money.
Well, that also proves on how core you are.
Well,
To me, I respect a lot.
it's hard.
And did you and Dad ever figure it out, or was it always a clash?
It was always such a different point of view. I think we always stood our ground on our point of view, but we were best friends, but in a weird way.
Because he wanted you to be a pro surfer and you didn't really want to be it?
Yeah, I think that he just wanted me to go further than him, and I didn't ever want to go any further. I was like,
So you think he wanted to see you turn it into a physical success?
I think
to
that
where he could
it was
approve
almost
of
like
it?
a challenge. Like he challenged me to do exactly what he could do,
Right.
if not more. And that's that baby boomers mentality. I don't know if you see any of them still, that the ones that are still alive, they are kind of it's probably gonna happen to all of us by the time you're 70. But we did it. We are everything. We did it all. And they caused world wars and all kind of
Yeah,
troubles.
it's kind of too much.
Yeah, it was too much. So anyway, the world's changing, and I can feel it. I can see it. And so at my point at 50, just to try to, I don't know, help the next couple generations to say, hey, you've got to learn things that are going to help you rise above what this world has to offer you.
Yeah. More balance.
And I think that's kind of all my injuries and downfalls, where I was programmed to follow the world. If you're going to make it, you got to follow the world. I don't think you have to follow the world to make it. I think you can make it on God's friendship side and
Finding peace.
finding that spiritual peace. And I think everything starts coming alive, or you start waking up to it on a cellular level, that your energy, your light, your sound, you are a creation, and you can be okay and protected against this battle, this terrain battle that we're in, of whatever's happening on the world right now with frequencies and the same deal. It's the same circle, mind control and all kind of things that are out to get us through music and what we take in through our eyes. So the battle's real, but I've endured, and I give God the glory for that. All right, enough worrying about the future.
Yeah. Well, this has been
We can
fun.
wrap it up.
We had fun.
We had fun.
Talked
Yancy.
about the past.
Well, thanks for coming, dude.
We gotta have
But
you back.
it really comes back to love. If you love the sport or the art or the feeling of surfing, the love itself will push you to push yourself to bring out that inner light that you find your style in, which is learning how to ride a wave.
Could have said it better.
All right.
One more thing. What happened to Abby?
No. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Let Yancy.
Well, we're not going to use that.
We love her. We'll give her a lifeline. We'll SOS her. She's in the world of worlds. That is what the world, as they give up.
Where
And
did
the
it go wrong?
trophy goes to the world-loving, worldly worlder. Here you are,
World award.
Where did it go wrong with Abby?
Beauty pageants.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Mind control. All right, later.
Cue the music. Thanks, Yancy. Oh, that was awesome.
All right, we did it.
Dude, you are amazing. Awesome.
Wow, without the headphones, you're in another world.
I'm over here.
You have headphones?
How's it? Thank you for watching Pinch My Salt, the hit podcast of the world's #1 surfer, Sterling Spencer. You know the rules. Subscribe and tickle that like button. Pinch My Salt.